Hi, this is Ronnie Velasquez, and today I'm going to teach you how to create a package, a buyer or seller package, utilizing the Forms Advisor in Zipforms. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to log into Zipforms, and then you need to go to a button here that says Forms Advisor. Okay, so once we go to Forms Advisor, you're going to click on Purchase, and then you're going to select whether you want to do buyer representation, that's a buyer package, or listing representation, which is a seller package. So let's start with a buyer in this case because it's simple. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to review the questions. Now Zipforms, the Forms Advisor, is going to ask you a bunch of questions. Most of them are already pre-selected, but you can change the answers if you want. And by answering those questions, the Forms Advisor is going to give you all the forms that you need to have in your broker file. So let me go over the questions right now. Let's say, for example, the first question says, who do you represent? In this case, you can say, I represent the buyer exclusively, or I represent the buyer non-exclusively, or I represent the buyer non-exclusively with compensation. And obviously, buyer exclusively is the correct answer. Then it's going to ask you if you're a member of the MLS, if you're changing the compensation offer in the MLS system, are there any two brokers in the office who are going to be working with the same buyer, and so on and so forth. And once you review the questions, all you have to do is you have to accept the item selected. And then you go to the next part, which is property. It's going to ask you whether or not this is new construction, is it a single family or commercial business, vacant land, 2 to 4 units, etc. And based on your answers, it's going to be giving you the form. So if I were to select vacant land, then the forms are going to be completely different as if I were selecting commercial property, or completely different if I was selecting single family residence. So as you can see, the Forms Advisor is very helpful at giving you the forms that you need on any templates that you need to create, whether for buyers, whether you're representing buyers on the purchase of a single family residence, condominium, townhome, etc. So I'm not going to go through all the questions, obviously, because of lack of time, but you can read the questions yourself and answer accordingly. Then once I have reviewed all the questions in this page, I'm going to click on Accept Selected Items. Then it's going to start asking questions regarding my client. I accept the selected items. Then it's going to ask me questions regarding the transaction. Please make sure to go over every question and answer correctly. So the more correctly you answer the questions, the more accurate your forms are going to be. So I click on selected items, and then the last part is going to say to accept, obviously, the disclaimer that they're not responsible for any mistakes, etc. And then I'm going to click I accept. And once you do that, you need to name this package. So in this case, I'm going to name it with today's date, so I know as a point of reference what this is, and I'm going to call it buyer package. Okay, and then when I click OK, next thing that I need to do is I need to go here to where it says recommended forms, get recommended forms. It's going to give me a list of all the forms they recommend that I use, yes. And then you have two choices: create a new transaction or apply to an existing transaction. So if this is the first time you do this and you're preparing a template for buyers, what you want to do is you want to create a new transaction, and I'm going to call it 4616, and I'm going to call it template, for buyers or something like that, or for buyers, okay, something like that. And I'm going to click OK. And once I do that, and the template has the package has been created, what I need to do is I need to click OK, and I need to refresh the page. Don't forget to refresh, otherwise it's not going to show up. And once you refresh the page, the package is going to be right there. So once you have the package here, what you want to do is you want to move this package to your template folder. So to do that, all you have to do is you have to click on the arrow here, and you need to save as template. You need to give it a name. So I can call it, obviously I already have a template, but you can call it, let's say, buyer package, package standard sale, for example, if this is standard sale. If it was a short sale, there's some questions in the questionnaire that you need to answer if it's a short sale, and it's going to give you some additional forms for short sale, for example. So in this case, it's buyer package standard sale, and this is a purchase, and this is for residential, and then you can select the rest of the answers there, and then you can click on save. I'm going to save it. Once I save it, now the template is going to be on my template folder. So in this case, it's this one here. It's called the buyer package standard sale. We just created right now. So the next step, once you created the template, is to open this template and go over every single one of the forms that you have in there and try to pre-fill as much information as you can. So if this is a buyer template, you want to pre-fill some information such as the X marks here where the buyers are going to sign. You are also going to write the escrow company. For example, if you're representing a buyer, is going to be seller's choice in most cases, right? Oops. Seller's choice, for example. And for example, here on the seller name, I usually type owners on title. Okay, owners on title, and I can just type that off and check that off if you need to. And then on the let's see, on the selling agent broker, that's your information, obviously, because you're representing the buyer. You can fill in all your information, and then the appraisal, the same thing, the title, the same thing, the pest control, etc., etc. So you fill all of this. Besides filling up all of this in the cover sheet, you will go to each one of the forms. I selected the wrong one. You'll go to each one of the forms and you will start selecting as much as you can. So in here I can put buyer, for example. I can check that off. In the real estate broker firm, I can put the name of the company here, Berkshire Hathaway Home Service California Properties. On the license number, I can put the license number here. My license number is 014266614, and then I can put my name here. And as you can see, what you're doing right now is you're basically pre-filling everything that is not going to change. Everything that is going to be the same is always going to be the same information. So you're pre-filling as much as you can. So when you are using this template in an actual transaction, you don't have to type as much because all the information is already going to be there. So what you need to do is you need to go through each one of these pages, all of these pages, and you need to pre-fill as much as you can. And that is how you create a template. Now let me show you what a template looks like. If I apply the template here, and I'm going to select one that I already have, so purchase package standard sale, I'm going to apply this template. You can see now from the cover sheet, I'm going to go to the cover sheet, you will see now how I pre-fill my templates. Once again, owners on title is already there. I put California here because I only sell properties in California, so the state is always going to be California. Legal description is going to be C prelim. Purchase agreement, closing of escrow is always going to be 30 days after the opening of escrow. That's just my standard thing. This is for residential because I have another purchase agreement for income property. So this is residential, so I checked that off. Escrow information is seller's choice. My information is already there. Listing broker information, I don't have it because I don't know who the listing broker is going to be. Lender information is going to be buyer's choice. Appraisal information is going to be lender's choice. Title information is going to be seller's choice. Pest control information is going to be buyer's choice. Disclosure information is seller's choice. Home warranty is the home warranty company that I use, and homeowner association if it's available. And then if you go through each one of these pages, you will see and notice that I have already pre-filled all the information that I need. Oh, I forgot this one. I've already pre-filled all the information that I need in order to me not to be typing as much. Let's do another one. Let's do the listing template. So let me apply the listing template on this one as well so you can see the difference. So on the listing template, for example, I also I include obviously let me see here, the listing agent information, obviously, and then in escrow information, well, I applied a template over a template, but it's supposed to be Castle Head Escrow and the address of Castle Head Escrow, and so on and so forth. So as you can see here, the title information, the pest control, the disclosure, the home warranty, all of that has already been pre-filled. So that's what happens when you create a template. It's easy because when you apply the template, all the information is already there. So take the time to create your templates. How many templates do you need? Well, you need one for buyers for residential properties, and you need one for buyers for income properties. That's duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. You also need one for buyer for commercial properties. You need a residential listing agreement for residential properties, and perhaps a residential a listing agreement for commercial properties or multi-unit properties. So you need about 6 templates. The whole process is going to take you probably about 8 hours. The bad news is you're going to have to spend 8 hours doing this, creating your templates. The good news is that once you create them, you don't have to do them any time again. You don't have to do them all over again every time. You can use the templates to do your transactions, and that's the best way to do it. So this is how you create templates using Zipforms. I hope that you like it. I do have an entire class over this that you can come to, so I invite you to come over to my classes. If you want a copy of the schedule or information, just call me, text me, or poke me on Facebook. My email address is ronnie@mayateam.com, and my phone number is 714-251-6292. Have a fantastic day, and I hope I see you soon. Bye bye.